an invisible path in a hidden area, secret vaults, and a very special boss. Today I decided to go dungeon crawling in one of Elden Ring's most hidden places so that I can share my experience and suffering with you. Last night I remembered a dungeon that caused a lot of confusion in my first few runs. I personally missed it entirely for my first 2 playthroughs until all of those thrilling news articles on Elden Ring pointed me in the right direction. I'm talking about the hidden passage to the Helix, a place you've probably been in and wondered, why is there dungeon music when you walk through? The dungeon itself is very hidden, but what's even worse is the fact that you have to go through a whole side quest to even get there. Find the elden ring dude that is practically invisible to the human eye. If only this f***ing perfumer wouldn't be on the way. Make your way down to the mountaintops and fight Niall, the greatest boss of all time. Ignore the runes here, by the way. I did this first try, deathless no hit.
Shut up!
And then head back to the elevator and use the secret medallion. That is a lot of work for a single dungeon. And even then, you could still just walk straight past it and miss it. You know, in hindsight, maybe I should have been able to tell that there is something there because of the music and the dungeon icon on the map and because it doesn't let me teleport, but I read so many YouTube comments by now that my brain just takes a little longer to process things. This place is very much not fun. Getting ambushed by giant octopus or octopi, getting attacked by multiple little insecure men as if this was some form of convention or league match, and then having another one of those octopios fall on my head. I had some complications on the staircase, a disagreement you could call it, and once everything was peacefully resolved, I made it out. Wait, that dungeon is not out here, where is it? I turned back, took a closer look, and I think I found something interesting. Those tiny men are so small, I mean just look at them. But then I saw some window down below on the walls. The railing had a hole which was clearly there to make jumping harder, so I did it without. After a few more tries, I finally landed on an invisible platform. Wait, that's f***ing nuts. Those tiny men built all of this. How? This is more than 2 feet above the ground. I also found a chest with a talisman behind a hidden wall, which is pretty cool. By totally not wasting expensive arrows, I slowly made my way through to the other side, where I met more of those dudes in the middle of the lunch break. And when I saw the other one come running towards me, I figured out the rest of the path. Only that those guys really hurt. And they're hiding on the ceiling. Thanks, FromSoft. But I gotta say, baiting my tiny monkey brain with a purple item to jump down to so I can find the path is a clever move. And here we are. Okay, real quick, this is Leviathan from editing. I'm a dumbass, it's right there. Inside the actual dungeon, kind of. This part was rough because there were many small men and...
Salt! That's all you can taste is salt!
What I didn't know is they were hiding something, but I will get to that later because right now I was busy running away from the octopus who is so set on hunting me down, he even jumps into the ceiling and out of bounds. Scary stuff, man. Dude's about to speedrun me with those out of bounds. I made my way around the dungeon and eventually made it to an elevator. In Elden Ring fashion, I checked below the elevator to see if they would do that for the 20th time, and they didn't. Not this time at least. But at the top was a pretty good talisman, so I'll take it. Only that the window behind it leads me back to the main room. But that is when I found it. Behind the octopus and little man-children was the lever. I quickly collected the missing items and made my way to the boss. The boss was a very unique boss fight because it was myself. My inner self. Me. I'm fighting part of myself. That is deep, bro. My halberd hurt him pretty good, just like those mean YouTube comments from my last video. A few more weapon mods and I was done, which resulted in me getting ashes yet again. But hey, the dungeon was pretty painful, so 7 out of 10, good secret.